West Country to work out whether one cave could change the course of history.
This free slope of rock contains just hundreds and hundreds of bones.
Find out what lived and died over 80,000 years ago. Miserable. And it's a Monday morning. But no, you're not seeing things. These men really are in their undies, all in the name of exploration.
Lads and lasses, come with me to the village of Registry, in the heart of Mendip.
Beer and song is a huge part of caving on the Mendips. Since Victorian times, cavers have toasted their latest finds with local ale and noisy ballads. And more than most, this group have something to sing about. So big is their breakthrough that even the boffins from the British Museum are boggle-eyed.
I think the last time we might have had a cave on this of this importance could have been 100, 150 years ago.
Wow. Only the creme de la creme of cavers have been privy to this find. Where can I wipe my hands?
On your jumper.
But today, if I can cope with the claustrophobia, I'm allowed to join them. And my underground guides are Tony, leader of the pack, a former surveyor, explosives expert, and when above ground, he runs a caving shop. Estelle, the group photographer, an IT consultant, and one of the rare women in this dark and dirty game. And John, the group geologist, a mapmaker by trade and a caving history nut. He's nicknamed Tangent because he's always going off on one. And then there's the landlord of the Hunter's Lodge, the most famous caving pub in the world, the man who set the ball rolling.
Well, during the period of the foot and mouth epidemic, all cavers kept clear of caves because it was of a kindness to the farmers and its goodwill. So they were sat around, a little bit despondent at not having their favourite hobby to do. I suggested that they clear out the swallow at the end of the car park.
What's the swallow?
The swallow is where we drain all our roof and surface water.
If you'd like to know where you're actually going to,
Right.
start off there.
You literally started digging in a tarmac car park.
We were down there 3 or 4 times a week, mainly evenings. Everybody else who visited the site laughed at us. They said it was totally stupid, complete waste of time. So for 13 and a half months we ferreted about down there until eventually we broke into a totally unexpected big cave passage.
Find something right in the heart of Mendip is
It's our patch.
quite tremendous.
Did you stick a flag in it?
No.
Well, here goes nothing. Off to find the caver's holy grail. I'm coming. I've got that throttled sensation. 20 minutes non-stop on my tummy. That takes some doing. I'm not prone to panicking, but it made me feel a bit tight-chested in there.
Yeah, it's quite claustrophobic, and today it's even more so with the water in it. You know, long-standing cavers can feel claustrophobic as well.
Why do you do it? You know, you get urges of panic, you feel claustrophobic, there's nowhere to put your limbs, your leg gets stuck behind your head. I hope there's something good at the end of this, Tony.
Just behind you here.
Oh, look at that. Looks like our Jurassic Park or Lord of the Rings. What Tony stumbled into is a real Aladdin's cave. This is one of Mendip's finest, and ironically all along has been directly beneath the caver's #1 boozer. Geologists reckon the stalactites and stalagmites have been growing for over 80,000 years. And when you arrived in this place, did you think I'm the first man ever to have set foot in here?
Absolutely, yeah. There's no feeling like it anywhere on Earth. It's just crazy.
Is that what you do it for?
It is what, yeah, that's what we do it for. It's one of the few places on Earth, or under Earth in this case, that you can actually be the first.
It's quite something, isn't it? Come on.
Okay.
There's more to see. Bye!
You're through, you've got one camera
You know, you brought that flask of coffee with you. Where's it got to? This is a mug's game. What am I doing here?
Oh, you can smell it from here.
Yeah, you've not let us down, Tony. Oh well, any excuse to quaff some caver's brew. Yes. Whiskey laced with coffee. Very nice of us too. Whew. The first leg's over, but apparently the going's going to get tougher. Now in control are Estelle and John, still flushed with excitement from their historic find. It's all about bones, very old bones. Is it you that found the bones?
When we were trying to dig our way to break through to the bit at the top here, we found one bone, just solitary bone in amongst the rubble there, and he just went off on it. I found a bone, stop the dig.
For you, was that your caving climax, really?
I wouldn't quite describe it like that.
But nothing simple underground. I've got to get in there. And out the other end.
Oh. We've already explored one amazing chamber with beautiful formations in. Yeah. I'd taken my welly boots off and tiptoed into here and was astonished that there was more passage. And then, when I turned around and found in front of me there, bones stowed into the ground.
Oh, wow.
There, a fantastic ambition was fulfilled.
How did you know that was a bone?
Just because I've spent more time than is healthy in Wales Museum studying them over the years.
We won't ask him. For John, the amateur geologist, things are about to get even better. We've brought two of the world's top bone boffins to Priddy. They're up top now, having a pint. Yeah, because it's a big thing. That's what the marrow was.
Speaking like an expert already. Fantastic.
It's catching, John.
Yeah.
Being near you, I can't wait to go and see these experts now. Do I just wrap them up in this bubble wrap?
Yeah, just
Pity there's no shortcut from here, though. No one's thought to dig a hole straight out, which is a shame given the pub's only 100 yards away. But as it is, it's back the way we came. I've never been so pleased to see anybody. And lo and behold, it's the bone experts. Disconcertingly difficult down there because Andy Currant, curator of the quaternary mammals at the Natural History Museum, which I reckon means he's big on furry animals.
Yeah, it's been a good, interesting trip. We've seen the cave in several new lights.
And the man in the blue anorak, Roger Jacoby, leader of the Ancient Human Occupation in Britain project. Clearly very important.
I don't know if you want to look at these now or in the pub.
No, let's look at them in the pub. I'm going to take the initiative on that one.
It's a nice bison tibia. That's a shin bone of the bison. That's the bottom.
These bones belong to reindeer and bison. During the Ice Age, they roamed freely in this area.
It looks like it's been gnawed away by
John's in his element.
Animal.
Oh, really?
Gnawed bones.
The Hunters Pub is at the very heart of the caving community. Yet cavers over the decades had no idea that right beneath their feet was exactly what they'd all been looking for.
Might be as long as about 150,000.
So what do these bones really tell us? Well, actually, a bit about our history.
Humans are continually coming and going.
Are they?
And there seems to be an enormously long gap, perhaps 200,000 years to 50,000 years ago, with no evidence of humans at all. And what's very interesting, Andy and myself, looking at these bones, have seen no evidence on any of them for cut marks or chop marks or any human interference.
Even more important than John could have imagined. But just how important?
I think this site shows all the signs of potentially being one of the great Mendip bone caves, along with Bleeden and Hutton and the Hyneden at Wookey Hole. And I think the last time we might have had a cave of this importance could have been 100, 150 years ago.
Wow. Wow. So do you hear that? I hope you're listening to all this, Tony.
It's great. I'm just sitting here amazed by this. I'm learning something every minute. This is the last thing I expected to find.
I think if anything I take from the discovery and hearing the information from Roger and Andy is just the power, the inspirational power that this material has is astonishing.
If it hadn't have been for the boot and mouth, perhaps they never...
So the cavers are in seventh heaven. A brand new cave means a new song and more beer.
Oh, when they passed the hanging death, young Tangent went off looking. He shouted back, I found some bones, it must be from Jackie's cooking. What shall we do, shall we have...
And if you want to find out more about Tony, Estelle, Tangent and the rest of the Mendip crew, go to our website at bbc.co.uk/inside out.